The 2026 Met Gala theme was Fashion is Art. Some people played it safe. The ones who didn't gave us the best red carpet in years. Here are the looks. Sabrina Carpenter had maybe the best concept of the whole night. She showed up in a Dior dress made entirely out of film strips. Not a pattern that looks like film, real strips of old movie film. And the film she used? It came from a 1954 movie called Sabrina, starring Audrey Hepburn. Oh, that's brilliant. This really shows people who have imagination. This being Sabrina's best Met Gala look. It's giving art. Love the headdress. Then the film strips flowed down into the skirt, like ribbons falling off her. She wore a jeweled headpiece and strings of rhinestones that ran from the back of the dress all the way to her fingers, almost like wings. On the carpet, she said,
"It's all made of film, which is my dream."
What makes this look so good is how personal it is. Sabrina has been building a whole vintage Hollywood image lately. She even calls it Sabrina Wood. She headlined Coachella just 3 days before this. She just put out a song with Madonna. She is one of the biggest names in music right now. And instead of just wearing something pretty, she wore something that said exactly who she is. That is the whole point of the theme. If Sabrina's look was all about a story, the next one was all about how much work goes into a single outfit. Kylie Jenner wore a custom dress from a brand called Schafer. It looked like it was falling off her body mid-motion, like she got caught in the middle of getting dressed. She looks fantastic. The color palette is so kind to the eye. The real story is what went into making it. The skirt was covered in over 2,000 fabric balls, 10,000 real pearls, and more than 7,000 hand-painted fish scales. The top used a painting style called sfumato. It is the same technique Leonardo da Vinci used in the Mona Lisa. It makes edges look soft and blurry, like shapes are melting into each other. The whole dress took about 11,000 hours to make. To put that in perspective, 11,000 hours is about 458 days straight, non-stop, just to make one dress for one night. So when Kylie walked that carpet, she was wearing almost a year and a half of someone's work on her body. She also bleached her eyebrows to match the look. She later said the Met Gala ruined her brows.
I'm not okay. Oh no,
My brows are ruined.
What is this? What the is this?
People thought that was pretty funny, but the dress itself, hard to argue with. Speaking of looks, people could not stop talking about, Beyoncé had not been to the Met Gala in 10 years. The last time she walked those steps was 2016. So when people found out she was coming back as one of the co-chairs this year, everyone already knew it was going to be big. Her dress, made by designer Olivier Rousteing, was built to look like a human skeleton covered in diamonds. Silver beads and rhinestones formed the shape of bones all over her body, from her neck down to her fingers. Behind her was a huge feathered cape that faded from light to dark, and it was so long that multiple people had to carry it just to keep it off the ground. Crazy aura when Beyoncé entered. Beyoncé came, Beyoncé saw, Beyoncé conquered. On the carpet, she said,
And celebrating bodies, just celebrating all bodies, all the different bodies.
Different, juicy, curvy,
I love it.
thin, tall, whatever. Just celebrating whatever God gave you.
But the biggest moment of the night was who she brought with her. Her daughter, Blue Ivy Carter, walked the Met Gala for the very first time. Blue Ivy is 14. She wore custom Balenciaga and walked beside her mom like she had been doing it her whole life. Beyoncé told Vogue,
It's incredible to be able to share it with her, and I think she looks so incredible.
She looks so beautiful. I'm like, we could
does.
learn some red carpet tips from Blue.
Absolutely.
The way she's posing, I'm like,
She was ready.
She was ready.
She is ready.
By the end of the night, a lot of people were talking more about Blue Ivy than anyone else. Some writers said she outshone almost the whole carpet. She has been stepping more into the spotlight over the past year, joining her mom on the Cowboy Carter tour. The Met Gala felt like her real introduction to the world, and she nailed it. Then, just as things were winding down, Rihanna showed up. Of course she arrived late. That is basically her thing at this point. She wore a look built from 2 pieces by Maison Margiela. The base was a long-sleeve dress made from fabric woven with tiny metal threads, with a tight top section covered in crystal beads and old jewels. Over that, she wrapped a long golden shawl around her whole body like a cocoon. Her hair had golden curly pins in it, and she wore rings, earrings, and even small gold gems stuck to the corners of her eyes. The embroidery on the dress alone took around 1,300 380 hours. Rihanna at the Met Gala is almost its own thing at this point. In 2015, she wore a giant yellow cape that people still talk about today. In 2018, she showed up in a Pope hat. Last year, she wore a suit gown and used the carpet to reveal she was pregnant with her third child. She always has a plan. This year, the look was a little more quiet compared to some of her past ones, but that actually made it hit harder. The more you looked at it, the better it got. Not every great look has to be loud, though. Some of the best ones are the ones that just fit perfectly. Ayo Edebiri wore a white custom Chanel gown with soft fabric draped across the front and 2 feathers framing the top. The whole thing looked like a statue from ancient Greece or Rome. Ayo is so gorgeous. Ayo is best known for playing Sydney in the show The Bear. She has become one of the most talked about young actresses in Hollywood right now, and this look matched where she is in her career. No drama, no big reveal, just confidence. And then there was Kendall Jenner, who pulled off something different entirely. On the red carpet, she showed up in a clean, simple outfit from Gap Studio designed by Zach Posen. Straight lines, not much going on. People online were not impressed. This is by far the worst dress Kendall ever had in her Met appearances. Kendall is beautiful, but that dress she's wearing at the Met Gala is so ugly. A few said she did not try. She did try. She just waited. Later that night, inside the museum, Kendall revealed a hidden part of her look. Giant, white angel wings that unfolded out from her outfit. The internet lost it. Kendall's dress from inside / after the stairs, they added big wings, definitely elevated the look. Not sure why they didn't show that on the carpet. She needed the wings on the floor when she came in. I love the veil and the wings. The whole thing was planned from the start. She let people think she played it safe, then flipped it when she was ready. Hunter Schafer took a totally different approach. While most people were wearing something sheer or sculptural, Hunter showed up in a custom Prada gown that looked like a painting come to life, and it kind of was. Her dress was based on a 1912 painting by an artist named Gustav Klimt. The painting is of a young girl in a white floral dress, and it actually lives inside the Met Museum. So Hunter basically dressed like a painting that hangs in the same building she was walking into. Hunter Schafer is genuinely one of the most ethereal-looking girls I have ever seen. She's stunning. The gown had rose details under the bust and torn cuts in the skirt that showed a bright blue floral lining underneath. Her makeup matched the painting too. Pink cheeks, blue eyeshadow, soft waves with a flower pin in her hair. The whole thing was quiet compared to a lot of the other looks. No big reveal. No 11,000 hours of pearls. Just a really smart idea done well. Out of everyone there, Hunter probably matched the theme the most directly. Fashion is art, so she became the art. Then there was Anok Yai, who took that same idea even further. Anok is a model from South Sudan, and her look was probably the most visually striking thing on the entire carpet. She showed up in a custom black Balenciaga gown with a huge hooded collar that framed her face like a halo, but the dress was only half of it. Her skin was painted in molten gold and bronze tones, so she literally looked like she was made of metal, and running down her face were prosthetic tear tracks, made to look like a statue that was crying. Reactions online were instant.
Anok! Oh my god. Winner. Winner! Look at that face. Look at that makeup. Look at those tears. Wearing Pier Paolo for Balenciaga? Excuse me? Whoever did the makeup needs an Oscar, because this image is for the Louvre. The whole look tells a story. The bronze statue crying in this beautiful black hooded dress. It fits like a glove, but the story just seems sad. And that's the beauty of it.